Hello. So, a while ago I was asked if I could come up with a way to make what we call a filler flower. Just a tiny itty bitty thing that we can put in between the bigger flowers or on the stems or whatever. So, for some reason that popped in my head tonight, and I sat down and tried a few different ways, and this is what they ended up looking like. I think they're pretty. So I thought I'd show you how I did it. Now, word of warning, they're kind of, I don't want to say tedious, but they're not the easiest thing that I've ever made. Mainly because they're so tiny. I twisted my earring. Can't have that. Okay, there we go. And so that makes it a little bit more difficult to deal with. Oh goodness. There we go. So I took a piece of scrap paper and I folded it like that, and then I trimmed it up to make it pretty much an even strip. Then I took it and I accordion folded it, like almost half of those. Okay, so I got this. That's about the size that we're working with, that little square. So then I went ahead and I cut all the individual squares. I thought about leaving it like that and then doing it. Thought about doing it one by, or more than one at a time like I usually do. Not such a good idea. Alright, so now there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to do it the easiest way. They're actually little rectangles, not squares. So you want them the long way. You want to fold the corner towards the middle, so you have a point. Then you want to fold the other one over to equal that point. You can tell that it's a little bit of a struggle right there. So it should look like that. Okay, doesn't have to be a perfect point, it just needs to be a point. Then you take your scissors and you're going to trim off this part there. And you're going to kind of do it in a circular motion. I mean, these things are tiny. Okay, so then it looks more like a piece of pie or a pizza or whatever you want it. Then open it up just the one flap, and we're going to glue it mainly towards the bottom. We're going to put a little bit of glue, and I just put a dab of glue on a piece of cardboard so I don't get too much on there. And I would suggest you put something metal or plastic in there, in the center of it, because you are working with glue, you don't want wood. And this is the tricky part. I don't think I have quite enough glue on there. I'm going to put just a little bit more. And you're going to basically wrap it around this needle until it folds in on itself back to your point. And I would move it around just a little, kind of squeeze it so it's a cone form. Move it around a little bit, it doesn't get stuck to the needle. But keep an eyeball on it that it didn't slide off itself. And then hold it. My glue, I have to hold it for 30 seconds. There's the glue again. I really do like this glue though, even though it takes a little bit longer to dry. I do like the glue. It is worth the $3 at Walmart. So while we're waiting, funny fact I'm looking through my bifocals again. Okay, funny fact. I have to have my lipstick really, really, really dark in order for it to show on camera. Walking by me, it's like, holy... Okay, so now this is what you should have. I should have used a different color since I'm wearing pink. Here, hold it in front of my neck. There we go. Now, basically, you're going to be doing some eyeballing. And you're just going to cut kind of rounded off petals with a space in between, like we've done for other flowers. So I have to have this a little bit close to me so I can see. And you want to cut, hold on, I'll show you, kind of far down. I start beside my glue seam, not right on my glue seam, because then it will just take my glue away, which would defy the purpose. Alright. And then round off your corners as you go. I don't know. Okay, that's the first cut. There's a little space. Almost like makes it look like a teepee for the first cut. And then just go all the way around. Rounding off as you go. I'm using these itty bitty scissors because A, they're easier for me to control, and B, the point is so small I can get right down in there. And it's just easier to maneuver with these itty bitty ones. I mean, you could do it with the big ones. Again, once you get to the glue part, I would suggest you go just past it, which I did not do just now. And that's why I'm suggesting it, because I just think it works a little bit better. But either way is fine, as long as it stays together. If it doesn't stay together, you can always just re-glue it. But the other way I was doing this was I was cutting out the petals first and then wrapping it around and gluing it, but it's so tiny that it was a struggle. And this was just less of that, less struggle. And so they're not quite as fast as I like my crafts to be. However, they're really pretty. Making sure you go down your any of your seam, your other seam, your opposite seam. You'll have two seams. You'll have the glued seam, and then on the opposite side you'll have the folded seam. The folded seam you want to cut down the middle of. Okay, so then when you're done, you're left with something like this, and just kind of put your finger in the middle and open it up a little bit. And then that lets you see if you want to or need to reshape any of your petals. Like I need to reshape that one, which is what I'm going to do. Just going to cut the tip off a little bit, round it off. The others look pretty good. Okay. Forgot to mention you need a toothpick. Handy dandy toothpick. Always keep one beside you. Alright, so then what you're going to do is you're just going to take your toothpick and you're going to wrap the petal literally around the toothpick. This is starting to get used to doing things like backwards so you can see them, but not everything. Okay, let's see if I can keep it there. Basically, you know, you're literally wrapping it around. I don't know if you can. Still looking through my bifocals. I gotta figure the camera angle out a little bit better so when I look through the bifocals I'm not like long necking it. Although it gives you a thinner neck. Okay, so just do every petal. This one I am doing petals individually and making sure you get the tip on there. There we go. And voila! You have an itty bitty filler flower. So simple is just a little bit difficult with the small size is all. But I really like it. And I will very soon be finding a use for it. Alright, until next time.